welcome to my channel. Subscribe, listen, and enjoy my stories every day. It's a rainy Tuesday evening, and the city lights blur through the raindrops on the window. I sit on the edge of the couch, staring at the stark white walls of our living room. My wife, Emma, is in the bathroom, shaving her head. The buzzing of the clippers echoes, mingling with the rain tapping against the window. I feel a lump in my throat, my heart heavy with sorrow and guilt. I had never imagined that our lives would come to this. Emma, my radiant, spirited wife, had always been the epitome of health and energy. But 2 months ago, she delivered the news that turned our world upside down. "Daniel, I have cancer," she had said, her eyes welling up with tears. "I'm so scared." The words hit me like a freight train. My knees buckled, and I had to sit down. I couldn't believe it. Emma had always been so strong, so vibrant. How could this be happening? But as she showed me the medical reports, the X-rays, the prescriptions, I knew it was true. The evidence was there in black and white. Now, watching her through the cracked open bathroom door, I feel my heart breaking all over again. She stands in front of the mirror, her once lustrous hair falling in clumps into the sink. Her movements are methodical, almost robotic, as if each swipe of the clippers is another nail in the coffin of her old life. "Do you need any help?" I ask, my voice barely more than a whisper. She looks at me, her eyes empty and distant. "No, I've got it," she replies, turning back to her reflection. I feel useless, helpless. All I can do is watch as she shaves away the last remnants of her former self. The sight is almost too much to bear. I turn away, fighting back tears. As the weeks pass, Emma's condition seems to worsen. She grows weaker, paler. The vibrant spark in her eyes fades, replaced by a dull, haunted look. The medical bills pile up, and we find ourselves drowning in debt. But I don't care. All that matters is saving her, keeping her with me for as long as possible. One evening, as we sit together on the couch, she looks at me with a strange intensity. "Daniel, I need to tell you something," she says, her voice trembling. "What is it, Emma?" I ask, my heart pounding. I brace myself for the worst. I need more money," she says, avoiding my gaze. "The treatments are more expensive than we thought." I don't want to ask you, but I don't have a choice. "Of course, anything," I say without hesitation. "I'll find a way." And I do. I sell my car, dip into my savings, and even borrow from friends. Anything to keep her alive. Anything to give her a fighting chance. But then, one day, she's gone. I come home to an empty house, her things missing, the closets bare. Panic sets in as I frantically search for any sign of her. That's when I find the letter, neatly placed on the kitchen counter. "Daniel. I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. I need to live my life, and I can't do that here. Don't try to find me. It's over. Emma." The words blur as tears fill my eyes. I crumble to the floor, the letter clutched in my hand. She's gone. My wife, the woman I loved more than anything, has left me. Days turn into weeks, and the grief transforms into something darker, something more insidious. I start to question everything. I reach out to the hospital, only to find that there were no records of Emma's treatment, no bills, no prescriptions. It's as if her illness never existed. Then, the truth hits me like a sledgehammer. She lied. She faked the cancer, the treatments, all of it. And she took my money, our money, and ran off with another man. The betrayal cuts deeper than any knife, and my sorrow turns to rage. I make a decision. I won't let her get away with this. She and her lover will pay for what they've done. I don't know how yet, but I will find a way to make them suffer as I have suffered. I will unravel their lives piece by piece until there is nothing left. As I stand by the window, watching the rain pour down, I feel a grim sense of determination settling over me. This is just the beginning. Emma and her lover think they can escape, but they underestimate me. They have no idea what I'm capable of. With renewed resolve, I start making plans. My journey for vengeance has begun, and I won't stop until justice is served. The days following Emma's departure blur together in a haze of anger and despair. But beneath the surface, a relentless determination simmers. I need answers. I need to know where she went and who this man is that she left me for. I decide to start with her best friend, Claire. Claire has always been close to Emma, almost like a sister. If anyone knows where she might have gone, it would be her. I find Claire at her favorite coffee shop, a cozy place on the corner of 5th and Main, bustling with the early morning crowd. "Daniel!" Claire exclaims, surprise etched on her face as I approach her table. "What are you doing here?" "Claire, I need to talk to you." "It's about Emma," I say, trying to keep my voice steady. Her expression shifts to one of concern. "What happened? Is she okay?" "She's gone," I reply, feeling a lump in my throat. "She left me." Claire's eyes widen in shock. "What do you mean she left you?" I take a deep breath and explain everything: Emma's supposed illness, the money, the letter she left behind. Claire listens intently, her face growing paler with each passing moment. "Daniel, I had no idea," she stammers. "I knew she was acting strange lately, but I never imagined." "Do you know where she might have gone?" I ask, desperation creeping into my voice. "Did she mention anything to you?" Claire shakes her head. "No, she didn't say anything. But there is someone you could talk to. James, her cousin. They were close when we were kids. Maybe he knows something." "James." I remember him vaguely from a few family gatherings. He always struck me as a bit aloof, but if he can help me find Emma, I'll track him down. "Do you have his contact information?" I ask. "Yeah, I do," Claire says, pulling out her phone. She quickly finds James's number and hands it to me. "Here, give him a call. I hope you find her, Daniel." "Thanks, Claire," I say, standing up. "I appreciate it." I step outside the coffee shop and dial James's number. The phone rings a few times before he answers. "Hello?" "James, it's Daniel. Emma's husband. I need to talk to you. It's urgent." There's a pause on the other end. "What's going on?" "Emma's gone. She left me, and I think she might have run off with someone else. Claire said you might know where she is." James sighs. "Meet me at the old pier in an hour. We'll talk there." An hour later, I'm standing at the edge of the pier, the salty sea breeze whipping through my hair. James arrives shortly after, his hands shoved deep into the pockets of his jacket. "What's this all about, Daniel?" he asks, his eyes narrowing. I repeat the story, watching his reaction closely. He listens without interrupting, his expression unreadable. "I can't believe she would do something like that," he says finally. "But now that you mention it, she did call me a few weeks ago. She sounded different. She said she needed a break, that she was going to find herself." "Did she say where she was going?" I ask, my heart pounding. "No, she didn't. But she mentioned someone named Alex. I didn't think much of it at the time, but maybe that's who she's with." "Alex?" I repeat, the name unfamiliar. "Do you know anything about him?" James shakes his head. "No, I'm sorry. That's all I know. I wish I could help more." "It's a start," I say, feeling a glimmer of hope. "Thanks, James. As I leave the pier, I'm more determined than ever to find Emma and this mysterious Alex. I decide to hire a private investigator to speed up the process. After some research, I find a reputable agency and set up a meeting with one of their top investigators, Sarah Miller. Sarah is a no-nonsense woman in her late 30s with a sharp mind and an even sharper eye for detail. We meet in her office, a small, cluttered space filled with files and photographs. "Mr. Thompson, I understand you're looking for your wife," she says, getting straight to the point. "Yes, and I need to find her as soon as possible," I reply, handing her a photo of Emma. Sarah studies the photo for a moment before nodding. "I'll need as much information as you can give me. Places she frequented, friends she had, any recent changes in her behavior." I provide Sarah with everything I know, including the name Alex. She takes notes, her expression focused and intense. "I'll start with this and see what I can find," she says, standing up. "I'll be in touch as soon as I have something." Days turn into weeks as Sarah conducts her investigation. Each day feels like an eternity, but I force myself to be patient. I throw myself into my work, trying to distract myself from the growing anxiety gnawing at my insides. Then, one evening, my phone rings. It's Sarah. "Mr. Thompson, I've found something," she says, her voice steady. "Emma is in Spain. She's staying at a villa in Barcelona with a man named Alex Carter." The news hits me like a punch to the gut. Spain. She's halfway across the world, living her new life while I've been here, drowning in despair. "Thank you, Sarah," I say, my voice trembling with a mix of relief and anger. "I need to go there. I need to see this for myself." "I can help with that," Sarah offers. "I have contacts in Barcelona who can assist you." "I appreciate it," I reply, feeling a renewed sense of determination. "Let's do this." As I prepare for my trip to Spain, I feel a mix of emotions: anger, betrayal, and a burning desire for justice. Emma and Alex have no idea what's coming for them. This is just the beginning, and I won't stop until they pay for what they've done. With my plane ticket in hand, I head to the airport, my mind racing with plans and possibilities. The journey for vengeance has taken me halfway across the world, and I won't stop until I've seen it through to the end. The flight to Barcelona is long, but I can't sleep. My mind is a whirlwind of emotions and thoughts. The plane touches down in Spain, and I step out into the warm, Mediterranean air. Despite the beautiful surroundings, I feel a cold determination settle over me. Emma and Alex are here, and it's time to confront them. I check into a modest hotel in the heart of the city. The room is small but functional, with a view of the bustling streets below. I drop my bags and immediately call Sarah. She had arranged for a local contact, a private investigator named Javier, to assist me. "Javier, it's Daniel," I say when he picks up. "I just arrived." "Welcome to Barcelona, Daniel," Javier replies in a thick Spanish accent. "I'll meet you in an hour. There's a cafe near your hotel called La Rambla. I'll text you the address." I hang up and freshen up quickly. My reflection in the mirror is haggard, dark circles underscore my eyes, and my face is drawn tight with stress. I splash some water on my face, hoping to clear my mind, then head out to meet Javier. La Rambla is a charming cafe with a vibrant atmosphere. I spot Javier immediately. He's a tall man with dark hair and a serious demeanor. He rises as I approach, extending a hand. "Daniel, it's good to meet you," he says, his grip firm. "Thank you for helping me," I reply, taking a seat. Javier orders us coffee, then leans in, lowering his voice. "I've been following Alex Carter. He's a wealthy businessman, very private. He and your wife are staying at a villa on the outskirts of the city. I have the address." The reality of the situation hits me like a tidal wave. Emma is here, with another man, living a life that should have been ours. My hands clench into fists under the table. Can we go there? I ask, my voice barely more than a whisper. Not yet, Javier replies. We need a plan. Rushing in could be dangerous and might tip them off. We need to observe them, gather more information. I nod, understanding the necessity for caution even though every fiber of my being wants to confront them immediately. We'll start with surveillance, Javier continues. I've arranged for us to have access to a car and some equipment. We'll track their movements and look for the right opportunity. The next few days are a blur of stakeouts and covert surveillance. Javier is meticulous, and his experience shows. We watch the villa from a distance, noting the comings and goings of Emma and Alex. They seem blissfully unaware of our presence, going about their lives as if nothing is amiss. One evening, Javier and I sit in the car parked discreetly down the street from the villa. The sun is setting, casting a golden glow over the city. Through the binoculars, I see Emma and Alex on the balcony, laughing and sharing a bottle of wine. The sight twists the knife of betrayal even deeper. They're planning something, Javier says, breaking the silence. I overheard a conversation they had at a restaurant. They're talking about moving to another location soon. Where? I ask, my pulse quickening. France, I think. They mentioned Paris. The urgency of the situation becomes clear. If they leave Barcelona, my chances of confronting them diminish significantly. We need to act now, I say, turning to Javier. Before they disappear again. Javier nods, his expression grave. We need to catch them off guard. Tonight, when they're least expecting it. The plan is set. We wait until the villa is dark, the lights inside extinguished. Javier and I move silently through the shadows, approaching the house from the back. The adrenaline surges through me, my heart pounding in my chest. Javier picks the lock on the back door with practiced ease. We slip inside, the cool air of the villa a stark contrast to the warmth outside. The house is eerily silent, and every creak of the floorboard seems deafening. We find Emma and Alex in the living room, asleep on the couch, empty wine glasses on the table. My heart aches seeing her like this, so familiar yet so distant. I step forward, my shadow falling over them. Emma, I say, my voice low and filled with barely restrained anger. Her eyes flutter open, confusion giving way to shock and then fear. Daniel? What are you doing here? Alex stirs, waking up and immediately tensing as he sees me. Who the hell are you? I'm her husband, I say, my voice cold and hard. And you have a lot to answer for. Emma scrambles to sit up, her face pale. Daniel, please, it's not what you think. Save it, I snap, cutting her off. You lied to me. You faked cancer, took my money, and ran off with this man. How could you? Emma's eyes fill with tears, but I see no remorse in them, only fear. Alex stands up, trying to appear calm but failing miserably. Listen, man, this is between you and Emma, he says, raising his hands. I didn't know she was married. Bullshit, I reply, taking a step closer. You knew exactly what you were doing. Javier steps in, placing a hand on my shoulder. We need to stay calm, Daniel. Let's hear what they have to say. Fine, I say through gritted teeth. Talk. Emma's tears flow freely now. I'm sorry, Daniel. I was unhappy. I felt trapped. Alex offered me a way out. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Unhappy. I echo, incredulous. So you thought faking a terminal illness and stealing from me was the answer? I didn't know what else to do, she sobs. I was desperate. Desperate enough to ruin my life. I ask, My voice breaking. To betray me in the worst way possible. Alex tries to intervene again. Look, we can figure this out. Maybe we can come to some sort of arrangement. Shut up, I snap. This is between me and her. Javier steps forward, his tone firm. Emma, Alex, you need to understand the gravity of this situation. What you did is not only morally reprehensible but also criminal. Daniel has every right to press charges. Emma's face crumples. Please, don't. I'll do anything. I take a deep breath, trying to control the whirlwind of emotions inside me. You'll return every cent you took from me, I say finally. And you'll sign a confession. If you don't, I'll make sure you both end up in prison. Emma nods frantically, her hands shaking. I'll do it. I promise. Alex looks defeated, but he nods as well. We'll do it. Javier pulls out a document he had prepared, anticipating this outcome. Emma and Alex sign it, their expressions a mix of fear and resignation. As I watch them, I feel a strange sense of closure, but also an emptiness that I know will take a long time to heal. We leave the villa, the document in hand. As we step into the cool night air, Javier turns to me. You did the right thing, Daniel. Justice has been served. I nod, but I know this is just the beginning of my journey to rebuild my life. Emma's betrayal has left deep scars, but I'm determined to move forward. With the confession in hand, I have the leverage I need to ensure she and Alex face the consequences of their actions. As we drive back to the hotel, I feel a sense of relief wash over me. The road ahead is uncertain, but for the first time in months, I feel a glimmer of hope. Emma and Alex will pay for what they've done, and I will find a way to heal and start anew. The weeks following our confrontation in Barcelona are a whirlwind of legal proceedings and emotional turmoil. Emma and Alex's signed confession provides the leverage needed to start the process of restitution. However, as the legal gears turn, something gnaws at me. There's a piece of this puzzle that doesn't fit. One evening, I receive a call from Sarah. Her tone is urgent. Daniel, I need to see you. There's something you need to know. We meet at a quiet bar downtown. Sarah looks more serious than I've ever seen her. She slides a file across the table to me. I've been digging deeper into Alex Carter's background. There's more to this story than we initially thought. I open the file and start reading. My heart pounds as I realize the extent of the deception. Alex Carter isn't just a wealthy businessman, he's a professional con artist. He has a history of targeting wealthy women, using them to siphon money, and then disappearing. Emma wasn't his first victim, Sarah explains. He's been doing this for years, always staying one step ahead of the law. So, Emma was just another mark? I ask, feeling a mix of anger and pity. Not exactly, Sarah says. She was in on it. I stare at her, disbelief washing over me. What do you mean? Emma and Alex were partners. They've been running these cons together. Emma would fake illnesses, stage dramatic departures, and Alex would handle the financials. They'd split the money and move on to the next target. The world seems to tilt around me. The betrayal cuts deeper than I ever imagined. Emma wasn't just a victim of Alex's schemes, she was a willing participant. They were planning to disappear again, Sarah continues. But your arrival in Barcelona forced them to change their plans. I think Emma genuinely felt something for you, but she was too deep into their scheme to get out. The revelation hits me like a punch to the gut. The woman I loved, the woman I was willing to sacrifice everything for, had been using me all along. My anger boils over, and I slam my fist on the table, causing a few heads to turn our way. What do I do now? I ask, my voice trembling with rage. Sarah's eyes are steely. We bring them both down. Completely. You have the confession, and we have the evidence. It's time to end this. The next day, I file charges against both Emma and Alex. The wheels of justice turn slowly, but they turn. The court date is set, and I prepare myself for the final confrontation. The courtroom is tense. Emma and Alex sit at the defense table, their faces pale and drawn. They look less like the confident schemers I confronted in Barcelona and more like trapped animals. My lawyer presents the evidence, documents, bank statements, the confession they signed. The courtroom murmurs as the extent of their deception is revealed. Emma avoids my gaze, but Alex looks at me with a sneer. You think you've won, Daniel? This is just a setback. The judge silences him with a stern look. Mr. Carter, you will have your chance to speak. For now, the evidence speaks for itself. When it's Emma's turn to testify, she breaks down. I'm sorry, Daniel. I never meant for it to go this far. I thought I loved you, but Alex, he's manipulative. He made me do things I never wanted to do. Her tears might have swayed me once, but now I see them for what they are, another act. I stand up, my voice steady. Your Honor, Emma's been lying from the start. She knew exactly what she was doing. The judge nods, his expression stern. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. We will take a short recess before delivering the verdict. As we wait, Sarah sits beside me. You did well, Daniel. No matter what happens, you've exposed them. The judge returns and the courtroom falls silent. In light of the evidence presented, the court finds Emma Thompson and Alex Carter guilty of fraud and conspiracy. Sentencing will take place next week. As the gavel falls, I feel a strange mix of emotions, relief, anger, and a deep, aching sadness. Emma is led away in handcuffs, her eyes finally meeting mine. There's no anger in them, only a hollow emptiness. Alex smirks at me one last time before he's taken away. Outside the courthouse, I take a deep breath, the weight of the last few months finally lifting. Sarah stands beside me, her hand on my shoulder. It's over, Daniel. Is it? I ask, looking up at the sky. I don't know if I'll ever feel whole again. You will, she says softly. It'll take time, but you will. Months pass, and life slowly returns to some semblance of normalcy. I continue to work, to rebuild, but the scars of Emma's betrayal linger. One evening, I receive a letter from her. It's postmarked from the prison. Daniel. I don't expect you to forgive me, but I want you to know that I'm truly sorry. For everything. I thought I could change, but I was wrong. I hope you can find happiness again, even if it's not with me. Emma. I read the letter several times before burning it. There's no room in my life for her lies anymore. The past is a painful lesson, but it's one I've learned from. As I stand on my balcony, looking out at the city lights, I feel a sense of peace. Emma and Alex's deception shattered my world, but I'm stronger now. I've faced the darkness and come out the other side. The journey ahead is uncertain, but for the first time in a long while, I feel ready to face it. The past is behind me, and the future is mine to shape. With the stars shining above, I take a deep breath and step forward, leaving the ghosts of betrayal behind.